flange press about. I'm in Quay Street. I've no brass for another.
You cheated me, Fairchild. You told me you still had intentions towards my daughter.
I said, if you remember, that all I had to do was whistle and she'd be away and over the hills with me tomorrow morning. And that were truth.
Truth's a coin with two faces, Fairchild. But either way, it'll buy you only one portion of pudding.
I'm in business to sell. And what I'm selling, you'll want to buy.
That's the only thing I'll ever buy from you, lad. That's my daughter.
Time will come when you'll buy my truss flanges.
Truss flanges? Truss flanges? You must be mad. You'll end up in the gutter in that line of business. Small man's going under all the time.
My truss flange is different. For one thing, it's bigger, and when you put it up, it stays up. Aye, compared to the old pattern, it's like Queen Mary to the Noah's Ark. And I'll tell you when the idea came to me and all. But when I was trapped down your mine. The weight of the world on my shoulders. And as I was holding up that beam, I thought to myself, what I could do with now is a new, improved truss flange.
Fairchild, you're a fool. You'd no sooner got your hands on some brass than you bought your way into a cutthroat trade. Here, I'll save you a lot of time and useless energy. Buy a razor. Do it now.
Why, I never realized. You can see the summer house from here.
Yes, I see the summer house, and I see you entertain a certain young man. What are you doing there?
We talk of art, Mother. He may be from the gutter, but like me, he is capable of looking at the stars. And there is so much that he has yet to learn.
And you, are you teaching him these things?
How come one? Here. But when he comes with me to Cambridge, well, then I shall make sure he's very thoroughly educated. I think he'll be quite a celebrity. I'm arranging to have his poems published.
So that is how you have bought him.
What melodramatic terms you use, Mother. It was I who made his talent flower. And do you dare to speak of buying? Oh, I know all about the cucumber sandwiches and the bottles of dandelion and burdock.
What else has he told you? Has he mentioned my legs at all?
I would not bandy my mother's legs with any friend, however close.
He's your newest pet, isn't he? I tell you, Morris, it will turn out as it always has done with all your pets.
I don't know what you mean.
I think you do, Morris. The rabbit that you fawned on and fondled and made a little velvet waistcoat for, it turned on you like a mad thing and penned you in a corner of the nursery.
Oh, I won't listen! I won't listen!
And the budgerigar! Oh, you made its cage like a palace, and you taught it to speak. But when it spoke, do you remember what it called you?
I hate you, Mother! I hate you! Spin your spider's web of spite and malice. But I am taking Matt to Cambridge. And you won't be able to run after him, will you?
You rang, my lady?
Yes, bring me writing paper and plenty of it. Oh, and Riley, look up for me the addresses of all the leading London publishers. Those that specialise in poetry.
Excuse me, Doctor. Wouldn't it be better if you put me to sleep?
Come, Fairchild. Your case is far from hopeless.
No, I mean anaesthetic-like.
Anaesthetic? You're talking as if you were still a private patient, man.
Doctor, your hands are so wonderful, so sure, so skillful.
Aye, Miss Hardacre, the hands of a great surgeon are like the hands of a concert violinist.
Aye, always fiddling about with somebody else's guts.
This is what was causing your discomfort, Fairchild. Yeah. The problem is now what we might call cosmetic. Man, your backside is no longer a pretty sight.
Is there no you can do for me, Doctor?
You've probably never heard of plastic surgery, Fairchild. We surgeons can now take healthy skin from one part of your body and, by careful matching, replace the damaged tissues.
Yeah, but where would you get the skin to match my backside?
From the tests I've made, I've found a perfect match if we take it from your face.
You mean you're going to use my face to repair me ass?
Aye, it's pioneering work. And I must mention one possible snag, Fairchild. You might have to do some tricky manoeuvring with the mirror when you're shaving.
Hello, Father. I was just passing with Mr. Morris. His friend Heskett's coming out today.
Haven't you brought me a note?
Yes, Father. Wonderful news. My poems are going to be in a proper book. Mr. Morris has arranged it. It's to be called The Early Works of Matthew Fairchild. Volume 1, Early Lays.
While you're standing there talking, you could be rubbing some salve on me bum. Yeah, come to think of it, I'd best put this on my face and all if I'm going to have that operation.
I've just written the dedication, and it's strong and beautiful and true because it comes straight from my soul. To Miss C.H., to the beautiful maiden, Miss Charlotte, these poems I dedicate, all of them, the lot. She pointed me in the right direction and urged me on to my first collection.
Oh, Matthew. Matthew, I tried to convince myself that I didn't love you, and I almost succeeded. I plunged myself into other things. The sick, dying, learning to drive. But it's you I want, you and only you.
Oh, Miss Charlotte.
Is anybody going to rub my bum or not?
Call yourself a scientist, Fleming. Your corner of this laboratory's a disgrace. Look at the state of this saucer. You could grow tomatoes in that mould.
Father!
What is it, Austin?
Father, a letter's just arrived from the Prime Minister's office.
Signed by the old fraud himself. I can smell that earldom cooking.
But, Father, who is this personage the PM refers to?
That, Austin, is a reference to the Prince.
You mean?
Aye, we shall have the honour of the royal presence here in Utterly. Ostensibly, Austin. You know what that means, ostensibly.
Think so, Father. Means you're up to something.
Good boy. Ostensibly, he'll be here to lay the foundation stone of the Bentley Ardacre Memorial Maternity Wing of our beloved cottage hospital.
What? The former cottage workhouse where you spent those unhappy childhood years. And you're endowing a maternity wing? Look, I know you're still an active man, Father, but surely a midwife with a bicycle would have been cheaper.
Calm yourself, Austin. The mere act of laying a foundation stone no more guarantees a completed building than a chicken laying an egg guarantees an omelette.
Something of a triumph for you, Father, to get the Prince up here for a maternity wing you're not even going to build.
No, Austin. What really brings the Prince here is that. SBD. We'll lay on a barrage out on the range. When the Prince sees all that devastation wrought in unearthly silence, the ermine's as good as on my back.
Oh, my God. Just remember something. Father, when George Fairchild had his accident, I heard a bang.
A bang? An audible bang? From our silent explosive? My God, it's still unstable.
You see, I think I have isolated what grateful posterity may well come to know as Macduff's disease. It is caused, I believe, by the dust in your cotton mills, of which your workers have ingested vast quantities. Indeed, some of them are walking about with it in their bodies even now.
If you can stop that, Doctor, then by God, you're the man for me. I reckon I'm losing upwards of 7 bales of cotton a year through what you call ingestion, but I prefer to call stealing by breathing.
Then we'll have a bargain.
All right. You can have 2 days a week in the labs to probe into your disease, and in return, you'll work for me 2 days a week. On SBD.
I cannot do it, Hardacre. I cannot use my skill and knowledge for the science of destruction and the weapons of war.
I'm talking about the peaceful uses of SBD. See, like you, I'm an idealist. I believe that we're on the brink of discovering the key to a new, brighter, cleaner world. The miracle new soap powder that I know is there. Call it, if you like, the nuclear detergent.
How can I refuse? I'll work for you, Hardacre. But I'll need guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs, Doctor? Well, I'm sure... Morning, George. Volunteers can be found.
Well, that's the fettled old girl. Aye, they reckoned you were finished. Said you pressed your last truss. But thee and me, lass, will turn a pretty penny yet.
So, firstborn son of mine, this is your new mistress, is it? You've thrown away one harlot to go whoring after the scarlet woman of profit. Aye, the whore whose name is greed, misery, and the exploitation of man by man.
Don't you see, Mother? I'm going to fight my way up from the gutter.
There's never an honest working-class lad climbs out of that gutter, but that he treads on the prostrate forms, aye, and the prostrate glands of his hapless comrades.
Are we to lie in the gutter forever, then?
You've sold your soul, lad. You've renounced your birthright. You'll never wear this cap again. This cap of Kirard is what my dad got off him. It's a wound to my heart that you're not a fit man to wear it.
But what am I to do if it comes on to rain? Nay, don't tell me, don't tell me.
Here, it's what I earned from a day's toil on the pea pods. Put it towards your first top hat.
His blood's high today, Father. He killed another stable boy this morning.
Oh, that's lucky. They draw their wages this afternoon. Not that I begrudge what he cost me. He'll win the National yet.
I've never yet known him refuse a jump.
Ah, you and he are well matched. I've news for thee, lass. Lord Mountfast and myself have agreed on a settlement.
So soon, Father? But I haven't even met him yet. Not that it matters.
He's seen thee, lass, that's what matters. And is eager to take possession.
He's seen me? Where?
Last month's point to point at Bishop's Tippings. I may have misunderstood him. We were in a Turkish bath in Jermyn Street at the time. But I gather he admired your seat.
I take it the settlement is mutually agreeable, Father.
Oh, well, lass, you'll have naught to complain of there. He'll take an handsome dowry with you, and Mountfast himself will be joining the board. There's a small price to pay for the earldom. I don't begrudge a penny your advancement costs me, whether it's a king's ransom to Mountfast or a mere bagatelle to buy off that Fairchild whelp.
So that's what happened. No wonder his ardour waned. You bought him off.
He came to the door like a common peddler. You were the only goods on his tray.
So, he sold me. What was I worth to him? No, don't tell me.
Less than a year's feed and tack for brass beauty, but to him, fortune.
I hope he thrives on it. You're riding, are you, Father?
Eh? No, it's my afternoon at the Home for Wayward Girls. I'm interviewing the new arrivals.
Charlotte! 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 There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. Mr. Morris!
Is this what you want? Flounces? Dresses? Paint?
Why have you got a frock on, Mr. Morris?
It's what you want, isn't it? And if you want it, you shall have it.
I know what it is. You fell in cut on the way home, and you were afraid to go home to your mam, and your Charlotte's giving you a lend of a frock to get home in.
No more pretending, Matt. Can't you see what I'm trying to say to you?
You didn't fall in the cut, then?
No, Matt.
Do you do a lot of this dressing up at Cambridge?
We all do it. It's not just Kim and Guy and Donald. It's everyone in the intellectual set. Last term, there was tremendous excitement. They actually unfrocked one of the college chaplains.
Had he fallen in the cut at all?
No, Matt. For the last time, no one has fallen in the cut.
Ah, I see. I'm just trying to get things straight in my mind.
You see, only like this do I feel truly myself. Truly free of this hopeless, vile charade. In a dress, Matt, everything seems possible. Only the final ecstasy escapes me.
What would that be, Mr. Morris?
That I suppose one must go to Oxford. You see, Matt, there are hills at Oxford. And I do so long to ride. Free as the wind. Exultant. Down a long hill. On a lady's bicycle. Do you understand what I'm saying? A bicycle. Without a crossbar. Very flat, Cambridge. Like Norfolk.
Well, I'd best be saying toodaloo, then.
There is a name for it. The so-called experts call me a transvestite.
Aye, well, my mum's a right stickler about that. If I went home with your vest on, they'd be held to pay Monday morning.
What is it you're saying?
Ta-ra.
Spurned. My very soul bruised again. Well, he shall pay. I shall publish his poems, Hesketh. Under your name. Yes, that's what I'll do. Didn't even say if he liked the frock.
What does want with me? Your note is over.
I've come to settle accounts dance with you, since that is your way.
What does mean?
My father bought me from you to sell me to another. But that still leaves our reckoning to be made.
I owe you nothing. You had of me in full measure. Aye, and more.
Exactly. And I believe in settling my tradesmen's bills. I'm here to pay you for services rendered. Silver is the traitor's coinage. Gold for slaves. 100 sovereigns? That should cover your services.
£100? Let's see. It's less than 5 bob a service.
Here, take it to pay for your sweaty labour. Yes, I knew you would stoop for it.
Nay, lass. It's your discount for cash. Happened she'd have made it guineas if I just took out longer. Still an old classic. Not bad for a first day's trading. There you go. An Irish penny. And guess who chucked that one?
Some men's wives bottle plums. 9 plums bottles.
Damn you, Bradley. Why has the off-licence started delivering alcohol-free British champagne-type wine?
Because, my dear, I want you to begin the long, slow process of sobering up. If you are in a condition to listen to me, I have something important to say to you.
I know all about your triumph, Bradley. You planted your flag on the highest summit of the social climbers' range. The prince is coming here.
I am approaching an important crossroads, Patience, on the broad highway of my career. I don't want you pulling out drunk in charge of that wheelchair and denting my wings.
You mean I'm not even to meet the prince?
Well, if you can keep off the hard stuff, I'll let you practice a 3-point curtsy.
You don't know what I suffer entombed in this living hell. Perhaps, Bradley, it's time for us to let the doctors try again.
Patience, every specialist in the Northern Union has been tried and found wanting.
I don't believe that last one was a specialist. I know for a fact that while he was here, as well as examining my legs, you had him inject all the beams against woodworm.
He's the best man in his field. The finest wooden-leg man in our history.
My legs are not made of wood, Bradley, and neither is my heart. Oh, don't you see? I'm ready to try again.
All right, my dear. We'll seek out the finest specialists in Europe.
Specialists? What do they know? What I want is some simple healer who doesn't know the meaning of the word impossible.
You're describing Macduff. He's simple, and plenty of words he doesn't know the meaning of.
Yes, Macduff. Then just send him to me.
Oh, my dear. If you could recover the use of your legs, who knows what else you could recover? We might recover. Oh, Patience, what days they were. When I was young and urgent, and you were supple and pliant. And together my passion and your permission produced an avalanche among the towering pinnacles of pleasure.
Don't try to talk me out of it, Bradley. Just get Macduff in.
I won't listen.
But you must listen, Charlotte.
I can't. How can I listen when I know you're going to break my heart?
But you've got your whole life in front of you. You'll soon forget me.
Why, Matthew? Why? Why?
Because I'm not the man you think I am. You see, Charlotte. So now you know.
It's horrible. You're telling me that
Yes.
Oh, nothing means anything anymore.
Charlotte!
It was at that precise moment, on the railway bridge, when I told Charlotte the truth, and yet not the truth, that I first began to talk to myself like this. Since that day, I've talked to myself many times, and in many different places, but never with more clarity or compassion. My feet took me homewards, through the meaningless streets, as I surveyed the wreckage of my early hopes. Morris, I had turned my back on, definitely, for the last time. Charlotte, I knew I must exclude forever from my heart. Her mother would first open the door to the forbidden garden. I knew I need not exclude, for she herself had long sojourned in the desolate wastes of her self-imposed exile.
Where's thou been, son of man? Nay, don't tell me. You've been down at the railway, a-sidling and a-rammicking with that half-witted Hardacre girl. It's no use lying. I saw her.
What were you doing down there, Mother?
Throwing stones at passing engines, to my shame.
Oh, Mother, why'd you keep doing that?
Because if the fireman loses his temper up and he'll fling a lump of coal back at me. Aye, many's the dull contusion I've borne so you and Jack could have a roaring fire.
Mother, there's something you must know. Charlotte Hardacre is not my sister.
Oh, Matt, let's not take it in when I confess to thee my secret guilt. Bradley Hardacre is thy father.
Yes, Mother, but he's not Charlotte's. I had it, among other things, from Lady Patience's own lips.
The wolf is ravaging the sheep pen. The vixen is trampling the grapes of shame. Oh, Bradley Hardacre. The trumpets of the righteous shall brazen forth the casting down of the ungodly, and thy name shall be a washpot and a lickspittle.
Mother! I have told thee must never pass thy lips.
You don't understand. The woman of Bradley Hardacre can be thy exaltation. She is no blood of his, and so stone of mine. You can cleave to her with God's blessing. I and her mother's too.
Mother, you've not thought this through. If you humble him, what will that do to her? To be cast out upon the world as a bastard. To learn that the mother she reveres is no better than a whore.
Oh, Matt, thy words are gall and wormwood.
That is why, Mother, she must never know. That is why I can never wed her. And that is why this very night I have cast her aside like an old glove.
Oh, you've never had an old glove.
Look, this is difficult enough to follow as it is. I told Charlotte tonight that I'm not a man as other men are, and that women can play no part in my life. And though it is a lie, in a manner of speaking, I spoke the truth. For if I cannot have Charlotte without breaking her heart, I'll have no woman at all.
Thou hast put the first stone into thy mother's hand, and she knows she cannot cast it. How can I call her mother harlot when I have been her husband's strumpet?
Well, ma'am, if the cap fits...
Listen! 'Tis thee the cap fits. Aye, 'tis Keir Hardie's cap, I mean. It's yours now, son. At first, I'd hoped 'twas George's. Then, I thought 'twas Jack's, but now... It's a big job and a big cap, and you're the only one with the head for it.
Aye, why not? My life is going to be earnest, joyless, sexless and humourless. I reckon I'm definitely ready for the young socialists.